Good morning, everybody. It is a nice overcast misty day here in Ohio, but that's all right. It won't be a bad day for cutting wood. I gotta get some cut. We heat strictly with wood, so it's nice to have a big supply before we go into winter, which I probably already have enough for this winter, but this is all for next year. I like to get it cut and stacked early and let it sit, and that way I always have plenty and don't ever feel rust when I got a whole shed full of wood still. So I'm gonna get this cut today, set you guys up on a time lapse probably for a while, but got my two best helpers right there. I'll hold the logs up and then I'll saw them up. This ain't too much, won't take me too long. If I can get set up here and get started, it doesn't take too long to cut through this stuff with this beast here. She chews through the wood. It's only got a 20-inch bar on it, which I had to order that because it didn't come with a bar that small, but that's mostly all I need. But I wanted the big motor to crank through this stuff, and you're sitting there holding it with the track hoe. There's no point in fooling around with it, so get on through. Saw's good. I like the Husqvarna. Got nothing against steel, I just don't like them, especially the new saws. They seem to have issues. The MS series, none of them want to start good or run good, at least none of the ones I've had experience with. And township and stuff that I work at, they have steel and they're a constant pain. Dad has some steels, they're a pain, and they're not even very old. So now the older saw that we got at the township, it runs pretty good. So I like the old stuff, but as far as my own personal taste, Husqvarna is a heck of a saw, and it always starts good and runs good. So gonna get set up here, figure out where I'm gonna sit. A little concerned those couple beech logs, whether or not I can even pick those up to saw them, but we'll manage. I'll get set up here and get going. get a little room in there to work. Now I can get started. Like I thought, those beech logs are pretty heavy. The tree fell over, so I'm not sure how dead they are, how dry. These other trees were all dead standing, so I'm gonna cut them up first. I need to give my dad some more wood, and so I'll cut this stuff up and keep it piled, and then I'll put the wet stuff, you know, further back, and we'll get this dry stuff split up and hauled to his house first. So, all right, let's get started. taking gas down. Got that's pretty much. Oh, I got one more log that was a dead standing, and then the rest of those back there are beech. Now there's part of another dead one back there too that busted off the top of one of these when it fell. It's not a very big piece, but I got that piece back there, this one, the one I'm cutting on, and I got some smaller stuff mixed into this pile here. Some of this, the electric company came through and cut down a giant beech right here, and but you know, electric companies, they just cut it up however is convenient, and it's not convenient for wood, firewood processing, because they cut the big pieces really thin, and then the smaller pieces they cut really long, so you have to go through and handle everything a bunch of times. So it's not really worth messing with. I'm going to pull some of those logs out of there that are still long enough so I can hold them up and cut some off, but other than that, I'm not going to mess with that stuff too much. But I'll get these cut, and I'll grab those back there in the back and drag them up here, and I'll probably scoot some of this, I'll forward some of this pile up here closer to the road, and then put the beech behind of it. We'll get to that later on. We'll split this stuff. I'll set my splitter up here somewhere, and we'll just split it and load right straight into the truck and haul it to my dad's. So all right, I'm going to get some gas and oil, and I think it's about lunchtime, so I'm going to grab something to eat. Alright guys, we'll try this. I had to run up and get some chicken out of the smoker. So I went ahead and topped off the saw, and she's a thirsty girl. It was already down about half tank. Maybe not quite half tank. But see if I can't get these other logs moved over here where I can reach them. They're mostly more beeches, but I think they're a little smaller round than these over here, so I'm hoping I can pick them up all right and get them moved over. I ran out of room when I was skidding everything up here, so I had to leave them out there, and I figured I could pick them up and one side. And so I like to keep my wood over there so I can just drive up here beside of it and split it this way and back the truck right up to the end, just split this way right into the truck. I wished I had a conveyor because that'd make this even easier, but maybe in the future. Just got the beech tree pretty much is all that's left, and I'll probably video some of that when I get to it to see how those big ones cut. But we'll go back to I'll bring you guys back when I get to the beach. I only got just this one. Alright guys, I don't got a very good mount with me today to hold the camera, so I apologize. Can't really see what I'm doing, but I went ahead and cut up all them other beech logs, so I only got these big ones left. And so now I got to figure out how to get them over here where I want my pile of wood. If I can get a hold of the end of this one, drag it up on top of these others, I think I'll be out of the problem. I just ain't got room down here. I'm getting more wood than I have workspace. What do you guys think? You cut smaller stuff so it's easier to handle, easier to split, or you cut the bigger stuff so you get more wood at once? I think I like the 10 to 12 inch stuff because it's easy to handle, easy to cut, and it splits fast because I got a splitter with a 4-way wedge, and it the size of that one right there, that's about perfect because that just one pass through that one and it'll be done. These here, well, most of these I'm gonna have to run it through, and we'll take the 2 bottom chunks will be small enough to take, and then it'll split the top in half, and then we lay the 1/2 off to the side. Then the other half will probably split into 4 more pieces, and then we'll split the other side into 4 pieces. And it ain't too bad that way when you can get it done, you know, like that. This one here is a little bit bigger. It may have to be split, you know, it'll be the same thing. We'll take the bottom 2 chunks off and split the top into a half, and then we'll have to split each one of those, but we may have to split the tops of those, you know, 3 times or twice instead of just running it through once. So it takes a little more time on the splitter, but when you get the wood like this, I think it's worth it, because if I was to just get, you know, 10-12 inch size stuff, I'd have to cut down a lot more trees and drag a whole lot more trees up here, and then I'd have to cut a whole bunch more pieces. And since I got that big saw, it really doesn't take much more time to cut these huge trees than it does to cut those small ones, because I got a Dolmar that I use for my small stuff, and when you get into stuff that size, it'll cut it just as fast as that big saw. So you know, you're not using the big saw to its potential, but on this tree, you know, you can get right through there. And I think it saves time, because I only had to drag 1 big log up here and make just a few cuts versus having to make 3 times as many cuts and drag 3 times the logs up here. It's faster on the splitter, but I think the most efficient way is to spend more time on the splitter with these big pieces. It's a little more work, but it's not too bad. Like I said, for the real heavy pieces, I got a log lift on the side, and once you get them, run them through that wedge one time, you got them busted down where they're pretty manageable. So all right, I'm gonna get ours cut up. I only got just these 2 more, and then I'll be done for the day, and that'll be just about perfect. Be almost dinner time, and we can wrap this day up. All right, it's time to get this biggest one. I can do with it. I'll get you guys propped up here where you stay put. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Try that. guys, we're all done. Not too shabby for a day. Oh, it ain't even a day, just a few hours. Did a few hours the other day skidding the logs up here. People make the argument that you can't save money by burning wood, but I disagree. And it don't really matter too much because it ain't costing me more than it would cost for fuel or propane. Ain't no natural gas out here. So I have all the woods here that I can possibly need to get my wood from. So works out. Keep the woods cleaned up. Had plenty of dead trees with the ash borer and stuff. And got that pile there, which, you know, pretty good pile compared to the track hose. So that'll be some wood. But I enjoy getting out in the woods and skidding the stuff up here and cutting it and splitting it. So I'd much rather do that than go to work. So that's what I do, and I enjoy that wood heat. When it gets 0 degrees and got no electric because of an ice storm or whatever, our house is usually about 77 degrees. So I enjoy it. Well, next thing to do is get the log splitter and get to splitting. But that'll be another day. And in the meantime, we'll catch you later, guys. Have a good one.